Libra, hi. So this is going to be a reading for August 25th through the 31st. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see. Libra. Alrighty, the overall energy for the reading, the Queen of Pentacles. That's a lot of self-love type of an energy, so we'll see where that applies. In the recent past, the King of Swords, the Judgment card, the Empress. Man, you're sure. You're sure about something or someone here. You're very clear, look, I know what this is about. I know what I feel. I know what this means to me and stuff like that. But you're sure. Okay. In the current situation, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups. There's a little bit of stressing about something that has to do with other energies that are in contact with you. There seems to be it's not just you. As far as you're concerned, you're good. When you put those other energies attached to you, which could be just one person or a particular situation, or multiple, that's when it becomes a little, so I don't know what's going on there. But in the immediate future, the Six of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, you get to a level of stress here that's not great. But I do see you eventually, when you get up there, like super stressed out about, especially a partnership, a particular partnership, like you get super about it, and then I see you kind of coming out of it. So the minute you get too much in there, I think you're realizing what's happening, and then you're like, what the hell am I doing? And then you back away from all of the commotion in your head about it. There is something stressful happening regardless, but the more you bring the mind into it, the bigger it gets, I guess. Let's do the Queen of Pentacles. You get the Tower, the Eight of Swords, the Two of Cups. Something's happening in regards to a particular connection. Something happened potentially already, but it's creating quite the commotion in your mind, quite the stress there. And you're trying to keep it cool, trying to keep yourself steady as whatever the hell went on. Okay, let's do the King of Swords in the recent past. The Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Ace of Swords. Yeah, brand new beginning. Everything looks good here. I think this is you before whatever happened. And you're looking clear. You're looking like, yeah, I'm here for this 100%. Like the energies seem right, balanced, and clear. Wow. For the Judgment card, you get the Ace of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Justice card. Yeah, everything feels right, and not only does it feel right, you're going for it. And it being, again, something that involves somebody else. Because it just feels right. Everything feels right. You got 3 aces in there, so yeah, that's quite the indication of, okay, something took off in a nice way here. For the Empress, you get the Six of Pentacles, the Judgment card, the Two of Swords. Interesting. Because as right as this felt, at some point I see you starting to question the validity of especially that part of equal give and take. Like, is this reciprocated? You know, like, okay, I'm in this 100%. Are they? And I don't know if they did something to get you to kind of get in this place, or if it's just you starting to question that on your own. Okay, so everything up until that part, great, and then all of a sudden you start to question the reciprocity of it. Okay, let me do the Nine of Swords in the current situation, the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, the Queen of Wands. I mean, things are still you know, playing out and working out and moving forward. But ever since you started to question this, it kind of stayed with you. So it just kind of grew. Think of it as you picked it up initially as a little seed there in the background, a seed of doubt. And it grew. It's still there in the background, but it grew. So at this point in time, it's looking like you're kind of stressed about it. If at that point it was just a little, maybe, you know, that time in which you think you're spotting a red flag or something, this is like, oh no, it's a goddamn red flag, you know? And I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just seeing you navigating through whatever the hell is going on here, because I don't even know if anything happened to get you to think that. Usually something does, sometimes not necessarily. For the 9 of Cups, in the current situation, you get the Page of Wands, the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles. If you keep going like this, and if this is just you suspecting that, hey, something's not working out here in the greatest way, maybe just throw it out there, be honest about it, about what you feel, about what you think, and see what comes out of it. Because if you keep on going like this and kind of carry this in the background, at some point it's not going to be in the background anymore, and it's going to take over your mind. And you know, you've got all sorts of things running through your mind, just like all of us do. Our fears, our insecurities, our doubts, our everything that's not great is stored up in there. Things that would just hold us back, you know? So the more you let that kind of linger there in the background, the more forward it gets into your mind. And it does shape up into a fear of, oh my God, this is not going to work out. And it started to shape up into that fear. And it's feeling like it's not, you know, up until that point where the questioning started, everything felt natural, light, like, you know, your openness to this. Your, oh man, this feels great. From that point on, things started feeling a little heavy. And then heavier as things proceeded here. And then as this fear starts to shape up, they feel really, really heavy for you. And it's been a minute. From what you're telling me, this didn't just happen. This didn't just come in as a fear of, uh-oh, no. You've been sitting with this fear of doom for this situation for a minute. And again, something might have caused this. I don't know. I'm not seeing it here, but that doesn't mean that something didn't start this off for you. For the 10 of Cups, in the current situation, you get the 9 of Swords, the Star, the 7 of Swords. And it becomes difficult. And when it becomes difficult, why are you doing this to begin with? This is something that you entered from the premises of, oh my God, this feels so natural and good. And yeah, it's going to go places. And then at some point, it felt like the opposite of that. Then why would you do this to begin with? You know, at this point in time, why would you still keep on keeping on if things are harder and harder here? Because that's your conclusion here. Like, it's just harder and harder to reach that place in which everything's perfect here. Everything's great. And from that conclusion, your energy is starting to pull back from whatever's going on here. So far, I got to give you this because as I said, I'm not seeing in the reading that anything happened. Not to say that anything didn't happen. So far, I'm seeing a lot of swords in the current situation, at least. And that's usually the mind running at quite the speed. So I'm not saying, hey, make sure this isn't just in your head. But try to give yourself a little bit of a break from your mind. You know, take a few steps back from all of this and just breathe. Bring yourself back to your heart and see if what's running through your head matches what's actually going on. You know, you could be right. You could be right here. But just you know, take a few steps back from yourself sometimes. For the 6 of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Hermit, the Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. And that's exactly what you're doing. Good. That's exactly what you're doing. Taking a few steps back, you're going within a little more, you're starting to be a little more honest with yourself about what's truly at play here. Your mind is still here, still trying to grab at you and be like, hey, where'd you go? Come back up here. But you're feeling more grounded when you do that. And again, even if you're right or not right here, at least you would know from this perspective of, a few steps back. Because you're starting to get more aligned. When the swords are at play, and there's so many at play, clarity is kind of lacking, and we don't see it because we're in the middle of the lack of clarity. So that's why sometimes we just need to take a few steps back from that. For the Two of Swords in the immediate future, you get the Two of Pentacles, the World card, the Eight of Wands. Okay. You're still not clear about where things are going from here on out. You gained a sense of clarity, at least over your thoughts and your perspective. But you're still not clear about, how things will proceed. And you can't be clear about that because it takes two to tango. There's another energy involved here. You can have your own set of clarity here, but what about theirs? Until you kind of lay it all on the table, you're not going to know. So I get the sense that that's exactly what's happening here. Like, okay, I'm clear about where things are at. I'm not sure where things are going. So let me just put it out there for the other energy involved and we'll take it from there. Okay. Let's do the Three of Pentacles because this is about a partnership. I don't know what kind of partnership, but this is about a partnership. For the Three of Pentacles in the immediate future, you get the Six of Cups, the Hierophant, the Queen of Pentacles. Nice. Yeah, soul connection for sure. So part of your soul family. Pretty deep partnership here, pretty significant. And I see you proceeding, whichever way this goes. At this point in time, it doesn't even matter where it goes. Because you're coming at it from the perspective of putting yourself first. And you'll see where it goes. It feels like a great energy. It depends on how they're going to show up to the table too. And I think you know that the minute you decide, hey, I don't know where this is going because there's two of us here. But the way you approach it is from the angle of putting yourself first. Self-love is definitely present here. And you acknowledge the importance of this commitment. And also way better and navigating from this sense of swords all over the place. You know what I mean? So you got caught up here a little bit in your mind, but you're coming back to center, back to aligning with yourself truly. And then things start to calm down a little bit as far as energies go, as far as you go in terms of dealing with this. So better position to be in when it comes to handling this. Let me see what the universe has as a final advice for you. The King of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you feel this disconnection. Whether it started from you or from them, it's definitely present. And because I feel like that's how you got in all of these swords here in your mind with it, because you felt this disconnection here. And you probably are looking for the translation of that. But if you're not going to ask them, then your mind is going to make sure it gives you all the possible translations for that until you're starting to come back to self and then maybe addressing it because you got the Eight of Wands here. So I see that as an energy is, coming out and putting it out there. So, yeah. Okay. Good. That's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.